Right, we are live. We are live. I'll begin with apologies for the delay in airing this broadcast, all important broadcast, at a very critical time, going through the history of the country, going through the history of democracy, what we stand for. We obviously are something like 20 or 21 minutes late into this broadcast. However, I always like this saying, better late than never. So today, Fambulem, we na the 1st of November. Imagine now 2022 now they done so. Pretty soon we go begin for your Christmas carol. And I believe inside this month here. It's very important. And this also tell we about the significance of time. However, we go continue for do we broadcast them and bring information to we people and we relevant. In we many conversations where we can have with people, you can see from the different dimension or perspective that outside people and they come up from. And at some point in time, we can see, say, the conversation where they come up from certain elements, them, it's not productive, neither progressive. But we understand why, because if you cannot be beholden to an entity or person instead of putting your country first, then therefore, all what you they say can be contradictory. And there's nothing patriotic about what you say because why? You're a conflicted person. But when you they shoot from the lip and straight up and you can belong, but first thing first is you allegiance not to a person, neither an entity, but your country, that can show the element of you vibe them where you vibe to your people. Such is the Then and Now platform, and such is the guest way we go introduce shortly. But Fambule Mawan for let una no say. Today, the 1st of November, 2011. I mean, hear me 2011, pardon me. 2022. This is not the Then and Now Media Empire. And we get a very special guest who will be come soon. Don't touch that dial because it's going to be interesting. This guest is known from shooting from the lip, not from the hip. Don't touch it. Yes, indeed. Today, the 1st of November, 2022, this now our host and presenter, Prince Emil Kroma. As he say, the numbers then they increase and we ask people for continue for share. So whilst we wait for the floor warm up, let people join and can you wait till we get for say. Then we hear some old vibes from Sabano 75. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. This now the time when the country been so boaty. When they say so boaty, then this, then they. And at the time that when we grow up in the country, and we're so proud of them times they day and how we wish for them time that they for come back. Unfortunately, it's not coming back as such. But again, the argument or the conversation on a collegial, on an academic level has to continue. The discourse around democracy has to continue. It is the business of ours as enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic of Sierra Leone that we for continue for whole government into account, for ask a question of our government who we voted for into office. There is nothing really wrong with that. Ladies and gentlemen, please help us to share. Tonight, we get to a special brother and friend. Of course, this man a familiar face now the then and now TNN Media Empire platform. He's been away for a while now the platform, of course, busy with other things then, but he very, very much have a presence in social media. He's known for not sitting on the fence. He's known from shooting from the lip and not from the hip. Ladies and gentlemen, can I please welcome a brother and a friend, Mr. Imran Turay. Okay, Imran say, they get me. Imran, they get me, which is strange. So, Imran, if they get me, you will get for left the platform and join and rejoin again. Because as far as I'm concerned, everything looks straight now. Everything looks straight from the side. And I sure say, make her ask me people, the people I sure say they get me. So, me people and they get me. And now just check out the platform again and see we are live and we audio does not have a problem at all. We audio not really get a problem at all. Let me just do a double check. Yeah. Imran, the problem is you. So you need for left and then you come back. Or I don't know why. Imran. The problem is you. So you need for left and then you come back. I don't know why. Imran. The problem is you. So Imran, the problem is you. You need for come out and come back. And in the meantime, let's run a real loop of the program. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and there's nothing that can really stop the program from going on. We guess they experience some audio problems, and as soon as that is sorted, and we go definitely bring and come on because we need for your in voice, we need for your in position, in observation, in perspective as to the state of the democracy and a rubber stamp parliament. And to know the meaning of rubber stamp, we go get to that and see whether indeed the title of the show again merit. Whilst we wait for bring the brother come up, there is so many things on the front that we need for talk about. And some of the things we were supposed to talk about tonight, maybe I will weigh in on and small before the brother they come back. You see, waiting they happen now with country and with politician them is as a consequence of we, the electorate them, we the voter them. And I say this because time and again, when we vote, waiting we vote for, that's what we get. Whether not All People's Congress APC, whether not Sierra Leone People's Party, the SLPP, whether not the National Grand Coalition, whether not C4C, whatever we vote for, that's what we get. Waiting we put in, now in they come out. Okay? So it's time for let we begin for rethink. It's time for let we begin for rethink. Waiting we vote for, how we vote. Whose kind of leverage will we get for understand the powers that we do have, that we go vote for people them 5 years and put them in office. Some of them, when they see them, we don't put them in office. Now, after we don't put them in office, when that term day is coming to an end, the same people them, they come back to we and can begin ask we for vote them into office. Now, don't get me wrong. There is nothing wrong with that for them and come back and can ask we for vote them into office. But what is incumbent upon we, now for ask them or think for we self on which basis these people that we can ask we for, let we vote them back into office, on which basis are we going to vote them into office? In other words, waiting they make who vote for people them. Is it by tribe because me and you come on at the same tribe? Is it by region because me and you come on at the same region? Is it by political party, we affiliation inside a political party because we all are like-minded? Or is it born out of patriotism, out of developmental orientation? What in this person then they do for we? What in they don't do for we? Because when they can't ask a person for vote for you, especially if you're not the incumbent, then they can't tell them the message now you they bring come. Because of XYZ way I do over this period where you've been voting me the last time, therefore I come back to you with this message them and what you see and feel with your own eyes. In terms of health, this much we did. And we could have done more had we had more time. And now because this is an unfinished project, this is why we come back to you for can ask you for your vote so that we go continue on that good work they will be not begin pan. The same is true inside education. Until una see argue una free education. But of course, the issue of free education is so massive, is so complex that 5-year term is not enough. But at least una see them, una touch them, una feel them. That waiting I say about free education, indeed I roll them out. Yes, it get hiccups. Forget about the one that we can make like say the thing perfect. Because we can get some people and simply because they support the president in agenda, then they make a good case for the president. Because then you want to make like say waiting the president introduce is perfect, which of course it is not perfect. It getting hiccup and teething problems. Okay, so therefore we say, give me some more time. The errors them where we don't notice, and this policy where we roll out, we go try for rectify them. But we need time. Of course, time is very elusive. 5 years, 9 go so. Agriculture. Una be no semi-agriculture policy, it be so compact that everything else supposed for benefit both within the agriculture system and by extension the entire country. We be say we want stop for spend millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars in importing rice, we happen for be with staple food. That we get the material them or we go look for them through appropriating budget for them things that they way we need for roll out a policy we go help the nation as a whole. Una know say we get a fertile soil, some part of the country them who say indeed we can develop with rice cultivation. It's not new to us. People in the western region of Africa, West Africa, for say, Sierra Leone, for example, are known internationally and historically, spanning hundreds of years, centuries. Because remember when they can take away our slaves, when we go up there, we go teach people and then ask them they how for plant rice. These are some of the arts that we showed in America how for plant rice before it became industrial. Before it became mechanized. That's what used to happen. And people like we sabi that. Okay? People like we sabi that. I think say my guest is really having a hard time, joining the program. Imran, if you watch the program, you need for continue for try. Use the same link I give you try for join the program because they see the attempt where you they make, just that they get your picture now, you adjustment and now you need for make. Because earlier on, we do a test drive, and the test drive was okay, both visual and audio was okay. So something definitely wrong on your side, okay? So try for work on them. Just keep trying. There's nothing like keep on trying, yeah? So like I've been saying, Fambulem, this is really, really critical that the president come and say, this is not agriculture policy. And not only how for grow the rice, but how for create opportunities them, and then opportunity then come in the form of jobs. Because the utmost responsibility of a government is the looking after the welfare of its people. Not manner BS where people like in the talk where they can misconstrue John F. Kennedy in statement where he make some over 50 some more years ago. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what can you do for your country. Then forget for put them in the context in which John F. Kennedy, the late man, was speaking. They want to use an in any kind of example and they forget away with that. But that's not going to work because this is the business of platforms of this kind for continue, for spew out the message to people and for understand when we say something or when we hear something, what's in the context of the thing and when we hear it. So the Presidential Agriculture Project and the SLPP manifesto and a manifesto I read inside out. I still get copies of them now and earlier broadcast them. I talk about them at length. I pick up a particular side. So the agriculture policy was another very good one, okay, in which they will also create these job opportunities for Sierra Leoneans them. Not only in planting the rest, because when you plant rest, you need tools. This is what make the policy was very exciting and appealing. You need tools for do the job of planting the rest. So the president say inside the policy, we go create the job then they with the tools the way that we need for make the rest them, that local people and go they fix them. Not all of them per se, but the essential one them. Cutlass, hoe, this and that. Now people and they get an opportunity then they for do exactly that. And this has not been the case. Okay. Now I mean, they talk about when you they come for can do you how you call them you re-election bid. This not the thing that way they bring come to the people. So now on them basis, then they will they say, Fambulem need for no, who that then they vote for, and why then they vote for who that then they vote for. If you be not come and don't give me vote for 5 years, you've been convinced me at the time, and now there are question marks, there are poke marks, you're all over the place, unfulfilled promises and etc. It now become a question of why should I vote for you again? Nobody there to tell you how you for vote. To be honest, we are only providing information on people being conscious on how then they make their decision for vote people. Then it should not be on the basis of tribal affiliation, political, of course, political affiliation. But if you're more patriotic and you think about your country and you not benefit out of programs by a particular government and they can't ask you for a vote again, the question here is, why are for vote for these people? Why? And remember, say, I'm not only speaking to the SLPP power, I'm also speaking generally, all political parties, all political leaders. In other words, the message here tonight is, when we make a decision for make a vote, we need to understand the power where we get. The power where we get. Because remember, say, once you don't get a vote day, it takes 60 months. 60 months. That's 5 years, not to play. Not to 5 weeks. Not to 5 months. 5 years. 60 months. If you've been a born picking, you don't born them, you don't waka. That picking, even in school now, in primary school. In the primary school, imagine that. So that's how long it takes. That's why we have to be careful how we apportion or give we vote them to whether we want to forgive them. Vote has to be, and Fambule Muna listen to this. Now we leverage where we the exact, because we are not lawyers. We are not the politicians that are running the place. We are not parliamentarians. We are not chief justices. But at some given point, these politicians come to we and ask we forgive them, we vote. This is the power that we have, because without we vote, they cannot realize them objective. So we have to be asking them certain things like communities. If my community is deprived of something, like maybe we need pumps, we need water, we need electricity. This is what una supposed for table and get some guarantee from that politician there. Now, it's not 100% say that politician they go meet that promise the way he make, but the idea is we learn with lessons from that. Say, well, we ask you, if we give you we vote, what are you going to do for this community? Or this is what the community is lacking. Are you going to organize a program around this where you go able for make clear we realize waiting we community want? We get boku school going picking age them, elementary school, primary school. And we lack in the primary school them. Let we say the number of picking them within at the place. Now it make fake census results is not good at all because we get for understand the mechanism inside census. Where you don't count people them, then you get for appropriate something for them people there for the survival of them within the state. So when you get the number, like for example, Eastern, you say now 1 million people and they you also break down that 1 million people and where they who are they? How many women they where they? Because women then get their own special need them. Man then get their own special need them. How many picking and they where they within which age category? Because they get different needs. Primary school going age picking them, secondary school going age picking them. Because now so you go able for know the numbers and know the building where they can build for school, waiting exactly you need. Secondary school as opposed to primary school as opposed to nursery. Hospital, how many young picking we get, how many combra we get. That's what you take for appropriate. Now, when you begin for doctor, then things this is why some of the reasons why we do fail. And I tell you now, they come up from a policy perspective because that's where I come from, you know, in terms of study. So when you begin for lie, then the doctor results and what have you, forget a desired outcome, then you they cause great damage. We're not even if in the immediate, but in the near future, that damage they become telling and it get repercussion, great effect on the country as a whole. And so many times we've witnessed this because of rogue politicians and their accomplices, them where they help them for accomplish their kind illegal, illegitimate goal there, where they benefit the country. So every time we think they will make progress because somebody come, he built 2 kilometer road, we hail them, yay! But yet they could have done better, but they build the 2 kilometer road and we hail them. When they come on a power, somebody can add another half kilometer or another 2 kilometer, we hail them. Yet we could get better. We could ask for more. We can use we leverage as citizens. Forget waiting with the ask for. But too many a times they make fools out of us. And we continue for vote the same and the same and the same. You see, the pathetic thing about all of this is like, we really, do we have an alternative? And the answer is no. And I say no because there is nothing organized. We come out of the womb of waiting exist right. I mean, we not come out of the womb. Yeah, that's the word I meant for say. We not come out of the womb that waiting exists right now in terms of with body politics. So it's politicians, in short, where they go, how you call them, new wine, old wine inside new bottle. Yes, that's the parable. Same politician them, where they vex yonder, such as the Alpha Cans, and many more. Jump here today, jump yonder tomorrow. Where is the policy? Where is the principle? Where is the integrity? Where is the country? Where is the country? So you see, these guys, trust me, then take we for be fun. Then take we for be idiots. Then take we for be fools. Because they can come and scatter the crumbs. And then we fet over the crumbs. Forgetting for no say, usada that crumb come out, we can similarly sit down the. In other words, on the table, like Professor Lumumba say, you don't have to be a servant na the table. Uside the people where they make the decision, they make. Now you they can't serve them. You can also have a seat at that table so you help for make the decision. You can also live on that table there. You can survive on that table. You don't have to wait for the crumbs that fall off the table. You can be part of that table there. And this is so true. But time and again, the mediocrity inside with politics, then they allow we for think on that kind of level there, family. And some of us are so disingenuous, so deceitful, so hypocritical that we continue for aid and abet something we're not good for we because why? The crumbs where they fall off that table, The immediate beneficiary are some of these people, and then people and the way they benefit from out of them. Now then bring they come and help for full we the people. We the people. Waiting platform of this kind they do. Now for encourage, entice, conscientize with people them for understand the power that is within them. Somebody asked me, whether the talk who the talk is having an impact, is making change. Of course it is. Of course it is. This night can happen, when a space is open for us to have a conversation such as waiting to happen. You get people that when they listen, like as we speak now, we get over 60 people that are listening. I think combined, because we do them both on Facebook and YouTube. Hopefully the numbers could grow up, but we know say eventually the viewers become thousands, because some people let me know say, no, we are not watching you. We're not going to participate in your programs and what have you. But we know say later on, they do. Now they can come and make the argument, oh, nobody know they watch you. But if nobody know they watch we, how do you know that they are not watching us? How do you know? But of course, it's more like a rhetorical question. We do know that you watch, even if not now, but you watch later. But we're happy that we get people and when they watch. Family, will continue for share. We guess they try for still join the program, and we go see. This program, not a long program, it's about an hour program. We see what happens. We get Boku program then when they come. Check nobody come back on Saturday because it get unfinished business with the ACC. The creation of the ACC, something we do, was it last week? So there's a continuation. Remember, there's a long historical aspect of this body and the people and we make up this body along the way, the historical side of things. How we arrive Usa with it basically. Usa deriving power from. Waiting have been the intent when a first organizer. Brilliant lecture. Brilliant lecture. If you know, we don't watch them, then tape the day on YouTube and Facebook. Please go and watch and listen. And then you can form your opinion from there. You don't have to agree with the brother. Of course, you don't have to agree with him. You can critique him, you can deny him, but just know on which basis. On which basis. And when you come for can question him, for goodness sake, do not come to a gunfight with a knife. Do not come into the ring, a heavyweight bout, as a featherweight. Other than that, you will lose your life. I'm in a different way. Okay. But family, this is exactly what we will talk about, and this not the Then and Now Media Empire platform. How for think, and this now exactly what we talk about. We see a voter registration process inside 2-3 weeks. 80% of the numbers they don't come out. 80% of the numbers they don't come out. Weeks after the program done, 30 day, we're not able to forget the balance result. So what's in the gun? We agree the president be the talk say, well, I been on declare the election open, which is true and which is strange. But what we can look at is like, well, yes, Your Excellency, it is true that you declare the intention for all the elections, general elections, very early, which was good. But they study the intent behind them. It was something like bagged, like how you supporter they can say no runoff. So many things that happened. The midterm census result now you say it not correlate at all. The numbers not correlate. Voter registration way something for the happen and not they happen. So things have gone pear shape. Now waiting and they do now is a PR system that had been dismissed off the table. Now in and the brief for introduced back again just for distract we. Because we know say the PR system is not going to foot for team up. It's not going to happen. Because if it happens, it's going to be unconstitutional and undemocratic. So I say emphatically here, it's not going to happen. We know say the president get all of the power, but all of the power where the president even gets, they operate or supposed to operate constitutionally. When you operate outside of the constitution, it becomes a junta. A junta now, like the guy we can visit recently from Guinea Conakry, that's a coup. He's a coupist. So he go down suspend all the laws then at the country. So basically they rule by decree. In Sierra Leone, this is not the case. This is a democratically elected government for the people, by the people, with the people. So what you do, it has to be constitutional. Not the way you grab the money and you get bad dream, say somebody look you if you don't like the way how they look you if, then you get upset and you you commute to death. No, this is not the case. It's democratic. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not the TNN TV media empire. Also, with the talk news where they make the news. Don't touch that dial. Today, now the first day of November, we wish all of una a happy new month. And as we go towards Christmas, we hope say all we joy, all we wishes will become true. This is not TNN TV media empire, and welcome all. So just for advert and family, let me just remind you now, the platform actually they look for advert. So if you get your business, you get your entity, you get your organization, you get your club, you get your bar, you get your restaurant, whatever you need for advertise, for go out there to the public, we they do on this platform. So we they ask all to kindly use this platform for advertise for a little fee. This is how we generate funds for continuing for do what we do. Remember, say this comes at a cost. What we do, both in time, in real time. That I could have been doing something else, but I'm pretty happy with what they do. Okay, pretty much happy with what they do. We get still the catch hard time. Let me just send them a message. Keep trying. For some reason, it come through, but you know they get picture. So you need for leave. You need for leave now. You need to come out, refresh your device, and try again. Thank you. Okay. So yeah, so we do advert, and such is one. And the video they come out soon. We are working on the video with the flyer for these people, and we have an event where they come up where Namatura and Boys School. And people the way they celebrate their time, yeah, I think they are from the north. Okay, I think say we guessed his back somehow. He found his way. Now just ask him quickly. Imran, did you hear me also?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, this is the attribute, the essence of resilience, of resolve. Never give up. You keep trying and trying until when you cannot try anymore. And when you cannot try anymore, which means that there's no life in you. It's over. Thank you very much for trying. So we guess, but I've been just to say something now. So we not forget, we advertise on the platform. So we get beaucoup people that we don't say, well, then go begin for advertise. And we look forward to that. So for a little fee, you can advertise your business on the platform. We also with sister Dr. Imambe Kadi Kamara. We're getting events where they come on a business where they don't do. I think for the past 20 years, they into charity and they help the disabled and doing marvelous work. And it's supposed to advertise, I think, in upcoming program on the platform, and we shall see soon what happens. But for now, we talk about Matura and Boys School, so they get this free event. And trust me, I know some of them people there, they know how to organize something. They are very friendly, very receptive, so it will be very good for take note of the flyer and attend or address it as it's supposed to be. The hall side and the hall on a Crawford Tenants Hall, within a Camberwell, a very popular hall. I think almost everybody in the Southeast know that hall because it's been there for quite a long time, and we all at some point don't either go there or organize an event there. I've certainly organized an event there, I think 2 events, and I've been there multiple times. And this is not outside and get for Holland. But the real advert they come, we will be a video running commentary for Teluna that on Friday, the 25th of November this month, the Matura and Boys School will be having or presenting a meet and greet. Outside the boys them and the girls them, the old one them, the young one them, all go come meet and they ask una for participate. Thank you very, very much for listening. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest is here, and we are happy for bring we guest come on at this particular point in time. And once again, we guest na familiar face, na familiar voice, na social media. And Imran, welcome to the program. It's been a while, but you look quite well. Maybe a little bit of cold, but you do look well. And welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Yeah. we already don't go too far into the program, so we largest people that know you already. Let we just go straight into it. And I don't want for think waiting you think, waiting at your opinion, waiting at your perspective about the state of with democracy and with parliament. So like you this opportunity for their family and your own idea, your perspective, your observation about the state of with democracy and the state of with parliament. So yours, sir.
My dear brother, honestly, talking about democracy, I know say you did do your journalism and you did do them exceedingly well. But I can put on to anybody say democracy is dead in Sierra Leone and it has never been alive. You know, nothing not look like democracy because democracy is supposed to be something where they go very, very gently. Now, a gentle thing where supposed for to go smoothly because nothing way orderly. You get rules, you get blue tapes, you get red tapes, and you get for follow them like a fine tooth comb. And how you do that? It's like when you're a Muslim, you get the Quran, now in a constitution that as Muslims, the Bible for Christians, now the young constitution that. Well, in democracy, the national constitution, now the supreme law, where we get for follow. Now in the navigate through the do's and don'ts. If you get a government or you get a country where the press not free, they not get freedom of press, the judiciary not independent, the legislator not independent, which is the parliament, House of Parliament. Waiting we get an executive, we get them all in the pockets because now in the pick them. So we not get a democracy in a feudal system. It makes sure say and pick the one then way it puts them positions then they for make it gets the result where he want. Not to waiting the people they want. Now waiting he want. So now only the people that where they dance to the tune where in they play. Thereby, then they undercut the people them from getting waiting then called democracy. Like for instance, now we country, we just don't realize for say section 25 and 26, when they talk about freedom of expression, they say yes, you can express yourself, but when you express yourself, we're not going to guarantee you freedom. When you come up on that, then say you get right to protest, you get right for association, you get for associate with people. You find out for say, it's like for say, since we mother be you take power now we country, it don't take eraser. It don't erase section 25 and 26. They're not there again, they don't exist. Because now immediately you talk about protest, they say you don't incite. I don't know the connection between inciting and a protest. It's so bad that the only party when they invite you to now na Sierra Leone na for go na CID. Just because you express the freedoms them we're supposed for they in the democracy menu. Democracy na like restaurants. You get stipulated things then at the menu. One of them na protest, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, free press. It is now alien to saloon democracy. And it's really painful. There are quite a lot of people there where they necessarily go school, but they not take the time for begin, they encourage themselves for get critical thoughts, but let them think out of the textbook. Make them be able for look at things for face value. Like everybody they come out, the man who work for 22 years, they make it no good. And then a nonsense and lazy argument. The man who work for 22 years, a GUI, a clear experiment, social experiment. Where make we know say, in any experimentation, you get forget, at least, more than 2 specimen for make you go able for compare and contrast. We had him before, where he work. he take power, he thief, he kill people them, he maim people them, then he run away. He did not do anything. Then he come back after 22 years when he not work. He can't do the same thing back and times 3, like he takes steroid. So now we don't able to compare and contrast. Where he work, he fail. Where he not work, he still fail. Then now he get the guts for asking for Guillaume. Another chance for the 3rd time. This is the 3rd time, not for the 2nd time as people and they look at us. He's been given chance before for let he run the country. Where he be the work, he failed. The man not succeed where he work. Then give him a chance back where he know they work. He don't fail back. But come on. Make we not so dumb for let we allow that money for come again. Because we don't do the experiment already. Because in any social experiment, you can forget samples. We get 2 samples. One way we they work, one way not they work. We don't put all 2 together. We don't clearly see say this man, whether I work or not work, will not make any difference. This na rotting lapa. Where you try for patch up, any side way patch the other side the chair. You know? Now the situation this. And Mickey always tell people and say, water not the good jump gutter. Water, they ever jump gutter. This man, now we just left and let it flow out of we country in borders. It has not been good, it just the light by. Look where he talk, I read the talk about Turay just now. He said now he opened the first girls' school na Potloko. Potloko na a district. Potloko na a town. Now we deal with first as a district. Then get Matura. Matura don't they mina body it. Now Potloko, then we get Matura di. And they still get Andy. Then inside Potloko, then we get Sheki Commercial Secondary School. Sheki Commercial be there now. First girls' school inside Potloko town. Then later on change into Sheka Stephen Secondary School. Then they make them a Catholic school where they make them co-educational. But how you go talk for Sina? You first make something where you don't need it before. You want for turn to Christopher Columbus, we talk for saying I discover America, where people have already lived it. You cannot do that. Lies upon lies. Then he said Anes Kroma don't take power for 11 years. Anes Kroma was never in power for 11 years. He was there precisely from the 17th September 07 to 04 April 2018, which means he was in power for 10 years, 6 months, and 18 days. Me not for say 11 years, that means to say the man short of 5 months and 12 days for the 11 years. 5 months and 12 days. If anybody they work for any company, they should pay for 12 days. The next morning, early morning, they go to HR for when they go pay money. Because I plenty money that one before I go say 5 months. So these are the things. And they don't want to make anybody question them. Make I give you something way funny, but SLPP party, my dear brother. You remember when Sam Milton take power? They start forget independence rule from, even though we not be independent, SLPP begin the rule from 1954. Sam Milton will be the first minister from 1954 to 1961, when we get independence. Now about 10 years. No, about, yeah. So, in Delhi, their rule, they not get opposition. Even though they not get opposition, then try for introduce one party. Albert Magai take power after a brother 1964. The constitution then clearly stipulates this is the foundation political party. When they start, they not get any opposition. Even though they don't get any opposition, then try for make one party when they no more day. So that don't clearly tell you say SLPP not cut out for work with opposition. In order than DNA. Then Albert Magai take power, 64. He was supposed to be there for 1 year and call general election. He not called general election until 1967. From 64. 5 years now in Akadi. It go against the constitution. From the initial inception of democracy. Now you talk about democracy, Sierra Leone, we constitution and furniture. And furniture. We get one party, one great party in the country. From where SLPP can have power, they don't want to rival, they don't want to share. Now they no more be there power. Then try for set up a one-party government where they not be get opposition. APC started 1960, then start from 1954 for take charge of Sierra Leone. SLPP are the oldest party at the sub-Sahara. But what have they achieved? Look, when people can make that a funny comparative analysis, what I find really silly, but go compare Asian country to Sierra Leone. Let me take Botswana. Botswana is doing good. When the man take power, the first president, he value add on everything. They have grown so much that they even they export meat. Now Europe, now the first world. That's how they set up themselves. And when that man take power, they not even get 10 people in Botswana, way educated, way go school. But he able to do exploits for his people. Then they blame and Eskroma say, and I don't change the place. But people themselves know this guy. When they start for being a host, the foundation and get for be strong. SLPP way start as a foundation party. They're not able to build foundation. Then they once there and Eskroma can build of Garrett pa a bill will not get foundation.
Okay.
No wonder we crumble. This is the situation, dear brother.
Thank you very much, Imran, for that lengthy expose on the state of the country. I love that very much, and I know say people will like that as well, because you didn't only talk about it now, but you took us on an historical analysis, and then we come back to Usai Wide, and definitely we can make up our minds as we go forward. Many thanks for that. Obviously, it seemed like we can take that as an assessment of the government and the state of democracy. Many things don't happen over the past few years. Let's say the last 4 or 5 years. One of them I want to ask you about, because these are critical stages as we come towards elections. Again, for do with the midterm. We've talked about this before many times. Not only me and you, me and many other people. And of course, it became a contentious issue for very known reasons. But I want for your public view about the midterm census, because all of that lead to something, if you know what I mean. So what's your view on the midterm census, Imran?
My brother, Madabio has failed and he don't fail miserably. And Madabio from the onset, it not be ever the work towards free and fair. It be the work towards fearful and dangerous elections, where it want for manipulate, falsify, forge, do anything for make it stay in power, even though it no for say it not go merit them. So you find out for say the census and all the other added things the way they try for do. Not to for do free and fair election, not for stay in power, cling to power. In as much as way you not don't do the things the way you're supposed to do for they achieve that. But you there from 5, you not pass, you want to go from 6. It doesn't work like that. But him be not say he not go pass. So from the word go, the man they look for leakage. And anytime where he look for leakage, when they try for stop him, he ready for create confusion, wahala, because you don't want to deal with the issues. They just get on with what they want to do for it just gets there. But the fact of the matter is, the man not try for do an election, he try for rig the election. From the onset, that's what he's working towards. Even a blind person can see that. When you look at the census, even the people in way, now the one them way, the support we financially for do them, say no. we don't feel say there's a need for it. They still went on with it. They've gone against all the rules just for make them meet their own criteria. Not on the country criteria or the electorate's criteria. It is an SLPP Madabio criteria. And it really, really they troubled me where people then still they talk about free and fair. That went out of the window immediately that man they take power. Now make you find out for say they make claims them about things that will not exist. Many of them. Many of them. What in the way we country don't achieve. Right now, for let you know how sad our country is, care an Hercules plane or a steamer go to Sierra Leone, ask anybody who left the country, let them go to that plane, the country go empty. All man go move because the country is not working for everybody.
Yeah.
There are people there who are able to get 5 square meal, 10 square meal. Then you get many other people there. We all then they suffer from kwashiorkor, basic meal and able to get them. Now I hear somebody where now somebody ifambo call me to tell me for say he go for treatment in Senegal. Sadly, he go die. You know how we tell like where your country not get health care? You get for travel go to other man country. Language barrier. You know sabi talk the language. You know understanding cuisine. And you know say when person sick, you they get certain cravings then. All that is not available to you. Then worse of it, like how this brother don't go die this so. Go die in the hands of strangers. We know they talk about the issues there, yeah. But all man just talk election. Yes, we get for do election because the constitution say now every 5 years. Now because we get for come back to the people them, can show you exam paper if you pass, so then go promote you. But you don't fail. You bring fake results come. Now I hear say they don't go forge the constitution.
Yeah,
this is what I'm hearing now.
Yeah, Imran, let we count to that because if there is any truth into what you say, then definitely that brings us the question of parliament. Hence, we talk about a rubber stamp kind of parliament. So, my question to you, Imran, there have been many things the way the president don't do, where it appear like say these were legitimate because and legitimate in the sense that parliament ratified them and they agree. So therefore, I want to ask you about your parliament. I don't ask you about the census and many other things they want to get for ask you about. But all of the things that will come into play now because parliament agree. And inside the parliament, there are opposition inside the parliament. How come, if their rules there are not good for the country and the people, then continue for pass? So in other words, what do you think about this current parliament?
You see, make a break and down. When you talk about parliament gets 2 players. You get the government side, then you get the opposition side. Other than the opposition side now the people them where they hold the government to account. Now the people them where they monitor them because you not see anybody will win election. He gets a manifesto. He make promises. I go buy a bus phone, I go buy paper phone, I go send on a picking and go school, I go do this, I go do that. So when you win the election, me loss, now me duty for hold you to account for anything and the way you promise. So now me go they say to you, brah, you will say they buy pepper, you don't buy the pepper so you don't have 4 weeks. Because the job of the opposition at any time now for boss the government a bubble. Boss them bubble so that you go form government. There are people that they talk, this APC they allow for make the government. They are not there to allow the government for do what they want. They are there for make sure say all these stipulated things them where the government promise, then do them and then do them within the statutory books. That is things that we lost them where we get. They're not there for nothing. Then there for a reason. then they follow, we use them and let we follow them. Like for instance, we president say he don't expunge the death penalty. Now find him for doing, but not follow the rule. If you begin for do the expunge the death penalty, if you can go to parliament, and it get for be do referendum, nobody not see referendum. So technically, you know, expunge jamo is still ready. But just because when you don't kill people, you know, let them kill himself. He want for now the only thing that to make it pull him because me don't know the last time when they use death penalty in Sierra Leone. Because when he take power, the death penalty get cobweb panel. And nobody kill nobody again. They don't hang nobody again for the longest time. So in your priorities, them now they're not priority because he not say they kill people now. In all let they hang himself. So what did they do? He try for expunge the law illegally. It's not legal. I mean, I want him, you know, when you go up, you get for candle. And when you there up, you the peace from people. And when you there up, you go candle come into in the ground. We get with swine there. We get with koboko. We get with whip. We they wait for you. Because you go reach a time where you go kind of ground, where if the parliament then fail for hold you to account, we go hold you to account. Now we come to the parliamentarian then. For me, I just feel to say they are a waste of space. They are the biggest burden on the Sierra Leonean people. Get the huge number of people there, whether they pay huge salary, but they know they do nothing. Because to start with, then say then go there for go past this lawyer. Section 38A. When they go there, they wrestle. And then they make a decision, say, then go do a U-turn. They're not going to do them again. But the government go behind them back. Go kele. Then go falsify the things then. Because if they don't agree, say they know they pass them, then all of a sudden, it's shown at the statutory books, opposition need for know who the rights and they, and how we go there. And for me, what's in the trouble me, I hope say what's in Ayeri not so true. But if what's in Ayeri not true, Sherry Coco should resign immediately. Because now you're not the leader of the opposition. Now you're not the people person where they organize the opposition. Now you the liaise with the other opposition group there for hold the government to account. If they don't go falsify the documents where we call with constitution, that one is a felony, not forgery, not crime. It should go to court. Ayeri say that for going to court, the person when are the guardian, it's like where Papa born Pekin, you go to hospital for treatment and say they for do operation. Then they ask for next of kin for can sign the consent form. Sherry Coco na in the guardian, na in the next of kin, na the opposition, na in supposed for sign any agreement or anything where it come from the legislative house. They say for go to court. Now in for day before for lead the troop. They say he say no they sign the paper for go to court. If he not do that, now the dereliction of duty, now negligence. And if you put them two and they together, he's not fit for purpose. If that is the truth, what's in Ayeri, he should resign immediately. Because you see, I can tell people that if you not say you want to ride bicycle, make sure say you balls not to egg. You balls for Bibanga for ride bicycle. Because when you go for go be an MP, not a person pick you. Now you put yourself forward for them and pick you. When the people then pick you, you have signed up for be the person when it represents the people, their interest. You are not there for your interest, for your family's interest. You are there to represent people. And then people, and you the advocates for them. You the fight for their interest. That's why they voted for you. So if you did it, the constitution, where you know one of the people for make sure they follow, because that's one of your jobs. Somebody don't breach up. They say for carry their person and they're gonna court. Usani find this man a bit wishy-washy. Now where they do that protest in Sierra Leone where people then die. I think now August 10.
Yeah.
Something like that would affect the leader of the opposition, because now the country, after the president, the next most powerful person, now the opposition leader. I would have expected him for summon parliament immediately. What was parliament called? No. They're not called parliament. Therefore, we do an emergency session. And now, if for column, he has that power because he has more than 2/3 majority in the parliament. He's one of the strongest men. Let me tell you something, my dear brother. For all my life, where I don't work, I go up and down. Any country where any powerful international guest can on a country where he talk to the president, the next person where they get meeting with, now the opposition. That is the litmus test. Now they take for no if the country they work as a democracy. Any country where a big leader go, like for instance, America go to Sierra Leone, when I talk to the president, like today, the next day, he go have lunch with the opposition leader. Now, only way he talk to the opposition leader, he go know the strength of una democracy. But quite a lot of people don't know the power, the significance of the opposition. So that's all they create the lethargy. But Sherry Coco, really and truly, I feel to say, if you're not able to do the job, let put Qatar down, let put load down. The other person total.
Okay.
It's simple.
Okay,
because
man.
they get a job description. You know, they meet that criteria.
Okay, man. Many thanks for that, because exactly we want to talk about parliament, and you can't talk about parliament without the leader of the opposition. We don't come under the limelight, and especially so quite lately. You seem to address Boku of the issue there, but this tempts me also for continue for us, because I really want to probe inside parliament a little bit more, which is Boku bills they don't pass into laws. And there is some confusion or misinformation we seem for the come out. I don't know whether not from parliament or from others them within parliament. But what they try for ask is, then will tell we say one set of law pass, one set of bill pass into law, and then later on we see say, or we hear say this is not the case. One of them now in the floor right now where they get all this back and forth with, we happen for be the proportional representation system. I wonder what you view about this whole thing, because this is trending big time on media. What you view about the PR system in the first place? What you view, how you understand them, and from what happen all inside parliament, the presidency, election, what you take?
My brother, this is so painful and heartrending, you know, and sometimes when we can look at things, in many times where I can look at anything what they do, I can try to see the humor of it. And now I said to Wami Padi, I say, but we get constituencies there already, because we get members of parliament there where they represent the people there. In the time where we get a war, where people are not be get access for go now the interior, for go na them for guide, for go talk to people them and for reach them, then decide for do proportional representation. Now that's not bring and come. But we see Jonah, a veteran. What did he do? You cannot do democracy without consultation. Democracy is consultative. He called all the paramount chief them with the instruction of Kaba. All the political parties, they all got him up round table. He tell them for say this and this don't happen. And that's it. They decide say, okay, we go do pass. The pass will go pass on to every party, let every party shape to the young people. Then they say yes, then the proportional representation. But in this case, we already get functioning constituencies. It's all for say the racism we come, the border, the boundary they wouldn't put, na Pansansan and draw them. The rainbow was the boundary. So they're not simple. See the boundary anymore. But the boundary then go fena more. Then go fena because then they put peg as well. Not to just mark the marker. Peg them be did it. But the thing is, they say that we don't go away from the law, they not pass on a parliament. How come now he didn't have the statutory books? Because the leader of the opposition come out publicly. He talk for say they not be pass them at all. I know they make them up. All man see and where he talk them. If they not be pass them at all, how did it get into the statutory books? If you don't go to the statutory books, we need to know how it got there. Because we not elect magicians. We elect members of parliament for represent we and represent we within the legal framework of the country. So if they find out for say Ronshaw don't go to parliament, he don't go finger the document, therefore catch that Ronshaw, they can't go to court, now we go find out waiting for happen. But the next of kin, now parliament, now Sherry Coco, it's all like where you picking sick, you go now hospital, they want to operation, then go ask for let you sign the consent form. Then now I can't get this twist why he say, Sherry Coco now he say, for carrying people are going to court, but now they say that the one now, where they renege for sign the consent for make the court, the case go to court. And a lot of people and when they talk for say, hey, go affect, then go change the date, let them change the date. Most of them people they hear them so corrupt in the parliament. Wait, with common sense, if una carry them go to court, then change the date to another date. But you are not for say when they change the date, that date they go help una case and go help una chances for win. You don't go for a rather than you push for them not go to court. For them just make an election where you not say they are against you where you go lost. I cannot tell you lie. No where actually people that they talk for say, hey no, it go affect the date. Let them change the date. Issues of principles are worth fighting for. Now England, Oliver Cromwell. You know that this country with me. You they see Guy Fawkes Day. When Guy Fawkes come out for go kill everybody in the parliament in this country. In a democracy, they celebrate that. He not succeed, but he go for facts. So what did they try for talk here? For make people understand me. Democracy not to free you. All the country that we get this democracy, what they admire, then fight for them. People then die. People then lost limbs. True. People then lost properties. People then losses. Martin Luther King, for fight for black money, he died. Malcolm X, for rap and fight for black people, and where he said, no, we're not going to assimilate. When I say assimilation, now at whose expense? Anything when I say for no assimilation, we black man again for give you your rights. He said no. He said, in fact, you know one thing with my name again. In a Malcolm X, what's he then do? Then kill her. So democracy never, ever has never been free. But Sierra Leone, we always look for Sarares. Now make with democracy, not one for go before. If we prepare APC and all the opposition willing for win this election and pull Mother Bio, then therefore be prepared for going to court. I let the court delay for 1 year. Go to court and not do nothing. Then you're not going to court at all. Then you go to the abattoir, then go beat you there, you say, hey God, if we know, go to court. Come on. Let we go to court. If they get for change the date, so be it. But now we make sure that things are done properly. Things are not
indeed,
done
indeed, Imran, let we make sure say things are done properly. So this proportional representation, it don't cause big hoo-ha, and it not supposed for be so. I understand where you say we forhold the leader of the opposition, you're kind of responsible because he gets huge responsibility there. But he come out this and actually made a live tape. I think he was interviewed by the guy who can do the interview in a Parliament when a Black TV, where he say he give the government an ultimatum, say 2 weeks. After that 2 weeks, if it not happen for say them withdraw them, we go see what thing will happen. In other words, go marshal people them, something of that kind. I wonder what thing that you take, because I sure say you see that.
Well, what me yeri, it might not be true. But what in I yeri, these are younger people and they talk them. Then say they don't go meet and for let he sign the documents and for let them start the proceedings. They say they sign the consent. Hey, but if you know that you picking sick, they say they die. They say for do surgery, let you sign. You not resign. That's why you have to kill you picking. But if you not say you not want the picking, give somebody else. If this man not for say he not prepare for take this responsibility because of reasons best known to him, he gives space to other person, let him resign. Because at the end of the day, you see, me na person talk is free. You don't can pay lip service. It's very easy for come talk. Well, what I got to go this? We don't really talk there, but not see no actions. Because this has been the strategy within Gaia they do at the opposition. Now, so where the issue of white paper become out. At the beginning, they told us they're not going to court. Because when they decide for going to court now, they go pay money quiet, or they go pay money secretly, or they ready for go pay lawyer for go, they all go. So when Sherry go talk, now one thing, the test, of the pudding is in the eating. It don't say in 2 weeks. When me they comes for him now, 1 week don't go so now. He left 1 more week. But inside the 1 week we don't go, the things that when me read, it troubled me. Now I make a talk say waiting I read. It's not 100%.
Yeah.
But if waiting I read gets any credence, we go know. Because the 2 weeks go past, nothing not happen. But if anybody need for push him, not him. But you not teacher, you know one old job. How you go be teacher? You know want make chalk dirty you on. You not karande, you know once you don't have grown old alwala. You not mechanic, you want wear white, you know one go under butuka. You know they work that way. You either commit yourself to your job description when for hold the government to account, where you know one of the people then where they fight for protect the constitution, make sure say you hold the government to the promises the way he make. Because any promise when the government make, now the opposition is duty, and now you are the leader of the opposition. Now you the marshal that battle day. Not of Okankas, you don't know more, they talk like Banfa Pekin, they begin to talk like Odoyo. You know, it's not an Odoyo place. This is a place for gallant, bold people them. Where you talk about people that we don't fetch that fetch today. You talk about Mandela. You talk about Thomas Sankara. You talk about Samura Machel. You talk about Julius Nyerere. You talk about Jomo Kenyatta. They fought. They're not just sit down. They expect the government for can't give them what they want. No. If you have to go out to take it, go out and take it. And that's what Cherry Coco is not doing. Some time ago, I had the privilege to speak with him. I tell him, I say, me man, I say, you're a nice person. Very handsome man. You know, I say, where I look at you up and down, it's like somebody where they rub baby cream 5 times a day. I said, but get for way overall. All you partner and get working. This Mr. Nice Guy, you know, in politics. Politics, when you need to fight, you fight. When you need to agree with the government, you agree with the government. You are not there for favor for anybody. You are there to fight for what is right and condemn what is wrong. You are not there for the go tell Berry they are do, because salon politicians, them, that's all what they do. They're not going to give people a hospital for let them get treatment. But they're ready willingly for go host to host for give Kasanke. This Kasanke politics must stop. And now we the people again for say no one Kasanke anymore. Do your work. Give your hospital. Make people not they die untimely. But they're all host to host, they go and give Kasanke. But they're not they go host to host for try for galvanize people them. And push the government for let the government build the hospital level we need. Sierra Leone from 1925 when they built Connaught. Connaught na makeshift hospital. 9 days today. 9 days today. The situation is really rotten. And I blame them people there. And I particularly blame Cherry Coco. And we go plead to them today. Because one person go can come out, he make an accusation against you. Second person don't come. Third person don't come. Fourth person don't come. Fifth person don't come. If there is no iota of truth, there is some truth in this. If there is no truth in it, my brother, roll your sleeve and begin the box like Muhammad Ali for the people. Because the man where they play with Nagulaya.
Okay,
when not say no buffet Goliath, fence sling.
All right, Imran. Many thanks so far, and we're about to go into a break. But we get a few seconds, 45, 50 seconds to the break. But I attempted to ask you this because you really don't make a case here. But again, while all the blame seem for the on Cherry Coco in part, of course, because na in get the majority day, na the Parliament is not alone. Parliament is made up of strands of different political party. Them we get for bring them weight count together for opposed government. One such person, Dr. Kande Kole Yumkela, we also sit on a Parliament. And if you remember from the beginning of this Parliament, some time ago, about 4 years ago, Dr. Kande Yumkela known to be the outspoken one now inside Parliament, where they oppose or agree with bills. And you name it, or they propose the direction in which Parliament for go. To a point where they begin even for say, in they play the role even for the majority party in Parliament then, which is the APC. But during this period of time, we don't see the introduction of Boku Boku bill where they don't pass into law. And then bill there, then be exist in some shape or form or some amendment where be already there, but they amend them and there's a reason. But people when they say that reason they're not really good enough. Which, for example, and in the turn to law if other parliamentarian opposition people are not back them. Then back their law there, and their law there we know say they are really bad for both the people and with democracy. But yet Dr. Kande Kole Yumkela is silent on this and is a major force inside the parliament. No one will deny that, including Cherry Coco. I wonder what's your view before on the break.
Well, to be honest, for me, Kande from the beginning announcement, I remember where he just put a Parliament. Now they talk for say in the constructive opposition. How you will be constructive in the opposition or you work with the other opposition then? That 10 day, if they pali when they make leader of the voting joint committee or whatever it was, you know, it they would up and down. But at the end of the day, when you're not opposition, you for know your place. When you're not player, you for know the wing where you play. Even this man what we get so now, this kind of man what they cause we problem. I would expect Kande Yumkela to come out and say something about it. Because if I remember, na inside he belts na Parliament. He wear Jojo Lapa. He tied that man in bam bam. He talk for say this man, he don't go talk to lawyer them. The man forget the job. If that very man there what you fetch for, where he come na the role, it don't for them miserably, it don't fail so badly. The man crook past the one that will be the day before him. I would expect Kande Yomkela, if where he talk not to just jargon, for make he come back out say, but me man, now me this way puts me neck on the line. Now me this way fetch for you. I am disappointed. The things that we do, I have not had him condemn this man one time, not ever. So if this man they creates them problem there, Kande Yomkela is partner. In fact, nine draw the plan. Because all the other opposition parties they be there against them and the employment. Now so them want to take back the ACC boss. Now him Baba himself. They all don't fail. I know if you condemn them one. So really and truly, when you ask me what's in a thing about Kande Yomkela na pambod na Canary, he they talk past what he they do. Now talk
Okay.
no more, he they talk.
Okay, Imran, we go continue. We go continue from Musa we left from.
We're not able to
We go continue from Musa we left from after the break. Ladies and gentlemen,
because
we ask we ask you now, Imran, we are going on a quick break. We go continue from the ladies and gentlemen, this is the TNN TV Media Empire. Me where they talk to una today, me now host and presenter Prince Emil Koma, and today, obviously, the 1st of November 2022, and we talk about the state of democracy and with parliament and bills and laws going into elections come 2023. Don't touch that dial. We get some more for una. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is the TNN TV Media Empire. Also, with the talk news where they make the news. We are having a discussion today, the 1st of November 2022, on issues bordering on with democracy and with parliament as well, where they participate strongly or we get a huge role for play at this democracy. But before we go into that, we also be one on know say we they do adverts on this platform. So if you get your business, you get you bar, your restaurant, you shop, you organization, whatever that you need for advertise, for get the word out there to people, we are doing that for a little fee. Remember that this is a community thing that we can help each other by doing what we the act for the family and do. So it's reciprocal. You advertise now with platform, we use the advert fee for continue for put out messages out there for create this unity where we so badly need and advertise your business. So Matora and Boys School then get the meet and greet event where they take place now the Crawford Tenants Hall within a Camberwell SE59EP. And this event, this event they take place on the 25th of November. It's on a Friday. Don't forget, it is free, as in the word free. Okay? So not forget for take note and govern yourself accordingly. Back again to the program, ladies and gentlemen, like I've been saying, me now una host and presenter Prince Emil Koma, and they come to una today from the TNN TV Media Empire, where they broadcast now Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. So don't forget, yeah, for look we up on the side and they you can, if you watch me on Facebook right now, we they beg you please not forget for like or follow the page. As you say, we get not too bad a number collectively, about over 110 or almost 120 people watching. That's not too bad. Thank you very much. but also they ask you for use the symbols, for show say you appreciate or you not appreciate. So the thumbs up is you like what you hear, what you see, and they encourage we. Thumbs down is you don't like it, but they encourage you either way. At least if we get 120 people in the watch, why should we have only 10 likes, 20 likes, 30 likes, 50 likes? Come on now, use that. Help the then and now for meet the algorithm then where they help we for present and do what thing we they do. Fambulem, we they talk about with democracy, the state of with democracy in Sierra Leone, and with parliament we suppose for hold that democracy day in good faith. In other words, the checks and balance system. How the three innals of government of a state supposed for work, how they're supposed to complement each other. We are talking about the executive, the judiciary, and parliament. Are we satisfied with the way they are going forward, with the way they've been doing things? So much has happened. August 10, intimidation, threats, the burial of bodies, the visit of the Guinean president into a country where I go ask we guess Ashose is a man who is never shy of shooting from the lip. So as Shose, he gets something on that as well. But today, once more, the 1st of November 2023, this is not the TNN TV Media Empire. I am Prince Emil Krumah with we guest Imran Turay. Imran, if you just talk about Dr. Kande Kole Yunkela when it comes to parliamentary activity, obviously we'll be there for take a break and come back. So I wonder whether if you want to continue on that quickly before we move on to the next question. Imran, are you there? Okay. Seems like Imran is frozen and we've lost him briefly.
First person where they fed for be hello, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, continue.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, continue. Now? Yes.
I can.
Yeah, Imran, you are live. We can hear you now. Continue, please. So Imran, your video don't begin to freeze. We hear you briefly and we don't lost you again. So I don't know what's going on. Anyway, Fambulem, while Imran they try for adjust in video or audio, let's see what happens. Let me see waiting to happen. I hope say okay, Imran is back.
Yeah,
Imran is back. Imran, if you can hear me, my last submission to you was before we go on the break, we'll be to talk something about parliament regarding Dr. Kande Kole Yunkela and Cherry Coco. We don't talk about a lot, but I mean they say, well, Cherry Coco not in one grain. For let things happen, they all need for come together as opposition to whatever, in a constructive way for whole government to account. So Dr. Kande is also part of this. But in the passing of many bills into laws, which look from all shape and form for be draconian, they seem for be silent. The public election bill, for example, is a political party act. It sounds draconian. It looks draconian. The Central Intelligence Act, the regulation of political party, them and all of these things. But yet the same people always sit on a parliament when they try for give you that impression that it's all okay and they are good people. Such is the situation, but I you be the deal with before we go on the break. So back again to where you were, Dr. Kande and Parliament and then Lord Hare.
Well, my brother, when you're not a politician, a opposition, you know celebrity, you know clarity contest. You come for work. And part of that work, they now for make difficult decisions then. And you get for sure conviction where areas, them where now areas of principle. For instance, I remember where they kill Labobo, Evangelist Samson. I know a remote talk. Even right now, it happened. Boku MP then they distance themselves away from protest. Protest is not criminal. Protest as legal as eating ice cream. How can you be an opposition leader You they frown and run away from protests when a tool where we get for oppose the government. That's one of the tools that you use. If you don't talk to the government gonna listen. You they come, you organize the people them, you lead the people them, and in every protest when we don't go to this country here, at the end of the protest, you they get a very popular politicians. They can talk to the people them, address the people them. Sometimes they get 5, 6 politicians them. Like when they kill everybody, I was expecting can they for call parliament, then go to parliament. Then go ask sober question them. And when they come to that sober question, then do a press conference. And after they do a press conference, then call people and for come out. They address people them. Team up on top of soapbox. That is the role of a politician. But then one for big politician and then want the status. They want the money. Then they pay them very well, you know. They only enjoy the money. Then they enjoy the allowances. Not to picking allowance, them will pay money. But when it comes for do the job, they're all the fall way short. I make always they say the parliamentary members them, they are all dishonorable. Because if they pay you money for do a job where you sign up to, you they fail in doing it, that's theft. That's the first class of corruption. So can the Yom Kela say don't work for the United Nations? Waiting United Nations, they do. They get job description. So where you then United Nations, you need to where they work there. It follow the job description. It tick all the boxes. It gets the outcome when they look for. But where it cannot necessarily for like be MP, for serve the people them, you're not able to get the balls, the guts for oppose the government. Then they're afraid. They talk or say, oh, then go hold them. Bobby Wine in Uganda, then they lock her every weekend. As he come on back, he talk back. They're not going to even beat you with now house. If you not say you know let them beat you, not go on politics. When you talk, say you want to go on politics, all of the above, like possibility. So for me, Kande Yom Kela, if you not opposition leader, or you not a leader of a party or leader of any form, to whom much is given, much is expected. And you not gonna be a leader, you they continuously they be like man. You know, say like man, they make decisions because Kande Yom Kela, oh, he hates making decisions. He not like decisions because free. You go block side, you go block robot, or indirect free. Kande want to do that, so they always settle for be a lines man, and that is not politics. Politics is about going out there, standing up for you people. Get bad name if you need to get bad name. Get good name if you need to get name where you need to get good. But not to just go there. They put jargon on people them. They show say you learn the Queen's English, you know a lot of vocabulary. But at the end of the day, you know they get the outcome with the people that they look for. Because at the end of the day, what's in they call lunacy? Lunacy in a way they make the same mistake over and over. You continue for makeup. You know they make changes. For let you change, you know, the direction where you go. You use one textbook, you fail. You use the same textbook back, you fail. You go back, you use the same textbook, you fail. Then you for don't know what the textbook get problem. You forgot look for that textbook. Try another thing. But can they say in your politics now for do constructive opposition? Me not see the constructive way constructive because both him and Sherry Coco they are lacking. They are lagging big time because when you're not opposition leader, you get forget dynamism. You get for be a good communicator. You get for able for go beyond and above your height because you get for able to convince people them. You get for get people and for believe in what you believe in. You get for make people and know for say you are convicted in your belief. Not for just going to parliament or go talk for how you call them?
Okay. Okay, Imran. No worries at all. Let me just go now with chat
When the
room.
question when you ask, are you following? Like I remember one thing in Parliament.
Yeah, Imran. Thank you for that. Let me just go quickly now with chat room and see what in Fambul and they say Fambul where they follow we. So we get Sister Bintu Sise. We saying good evening. We are here. Thank you very much, Sister Bintu, for being here. Sequence Dumbuya, greetings. Right. Good evening, brother Sequence. Salon TV News. Sabano, sweet music. Oh yes, absolutely. Thank you very much, Salon TV News. Prince Top, good intro to the program. Many thanks, Mr. Top. You are loud and clear. Of course, that now we will get some audio problem. Thank you for that, Mr. Top. Martha Bangura is watching from London. Hi, Sister Martha. How you do? I hope all is well. It's been an ugly weather today in London. Abdullah Kamara, good evening. From where? Okay, good evening, Abdullah. Madi Rollins, good evening, Mr. Chroma. Good evening to you, Mr. Rollins. Arun Kamara, don't pay them mind. Of course, we're not paying them mind, but are we doing what we're doing? We know, say what we do. It'll be a fruit. We know that for sure. We get with measurement skills. We know that. Thank you very much for that. They are trying to distract you. And not only me, they are trying to distract every one of us. But please, we should not get distracted. It's not going to work. Bintu Sise, well captured. Thank you, Sister Bintu. Arun Kamara, the detractors don't want us to listen to the program. That's so true, but they are missing. Peter Dauda, what a shame that people who are supposedly well-educated can still defend a bogus Sierra Leone constitution, not worth the paper it is written on. That's interesting, Mr. Dauda, knowing fully well the views that you represented in the past. And I hope I understand you this time, because this is exactly what we have been saying, brother. You know, the constitution of the country is being violated in front of our own eyes. Yeah. Thank you for that. Anyway, Arun Kamara, well and meaningful people love your program. Thank you again. That rogue and repressive regime must go. They are fighting tooth and nail to rig the forthcoming election. Fatmata Bangura, good evening. Good evening, Sister Fatmata. Peter Dauda again. If the people of Sierra Leone really know what they want, the country will not be in such a situation. Exactly. It won't be in such a situation. Thank you for that, Dauda. Moriba Kane, blow me, brother. Mother all the way. But of course, Sister, brother Moriba Kone, you're entitled to your view, mother all the way. Why not from you? Other people, they say no. So thank you for that anyway. Lakish LK is watching you. Hey, Lakish. How are you, brother? Thanks for watching. Yusuf Yunisba, God bless you, Mr. Imran. Thank you very much. Facebook user, is there a number to call? I have a question for Mr. Turay. I think it is unfair to blame Cherry Coco alone. Your party is not together. The infighting and hypocrisy are the leaders of APC. How can he be effective when he has no support? Well, again, I've already said that he's not alone. That's what I was dealing with. There are other people in parliament as well. But again, I think you're talking about internal party structure. I will ask the guest whether you want to take 1 or 2 phone calls. If he does, then we'll put the phone out there for let you call and express your view or ask you a question. Bintu Sise, all eyes on you. Many thanks, Sister Bintu. Arun Kamara, Kande is not useful. Arun Kamara, I understand that Bio wants to appoint him as running mate in the 2023 election. Well, there is no truth to that as yet. It's all rumors, not impossible. I don't think KKY is 100% involved right now. He is grieving his wife. He's just doing the bare minimum. That could be very well true. He's just lost his wife of many, many years. Those of us that have wives know exactly what you talk about, and that's quite true. I agree with you. Arun Kamara, so is not condemning the brutal regime. The program is very educational and inspirational. Okay, Arun Kamara, very active in the chat room, and we love this. Lamin Dinke, good job, guys. Many thanks, Lamin. Abbas Koroma, hi, TNN, watching from Sydney, Australia. Woo! All the way Sydney. How na they do they? Many thanks for watching. Lamin Dinke, Bio is going by the grace of God. Otondo is by the grace of God, obviously, but it has to be by action. You know, this grace of God is a good thing, it's a good feel. But God says, action can only take place or can happen, or things can only happen where people they actually take physical action. In other words, faith without deed is dead. Keep that at the back of your mind. So not to forget it, you expect a play test where you pray will appear. No, doesn't work that way. But many thanks for that. Otondo say good evening, Mr. Prince, watching from Sweden. My regard to Imran. Of course, Imran is listening, and many thanks from Sweden. We appreciate that. Fode Kaba, interesting program. Thank you, Mr. Kaba. Yeah, and there's a few more. Imran, thank you for the patience. One or two people they say then go one for call and ask you a question. I don't know whether you're interested in that. If you're interested, we can put the number out, then you can call if they want. Okay. Thank you so much. Anyway, Imran, going back again to with discussion. Many bills.
I am not the man.
Sorry, say that you want to say something?
No, you are the boss. You are the you are the manager. So whatever you decide, I would go with. I'm just a guest.
Well, as a matter of respect, because normally these things are pre-arranged before the live broadcast. There has to be some agreement. It's mutual, reciprocal. You know, we get agreement.
I appreciate.
But in the bid flow of things, the question is for you or the sentiments now you don't want to express on towards. I don't know what is coming, so I have to ask you. That's all I'm saying. So if you're interested,
I'm not scared of anything. I would answer any question.
Okay, that's fine.
But there's something controversial I want to talk about. You know, because there are certain things and the way they go on with people and forget the education for no.
You know, because so you want for we run out of time. So that controversial thing you want to talk about where we people like you they say you get a floor. Please go ahead and talk about it now. And the one that we want for call,
you know,
if you watch this caller text, hang on 1 minute, Iman. Then when they will say they want for call, if you watch this caller text at the bottom, you go see the number there for call. Don't forget, if you call from outside the UK where the channel is based, you have to do your +44, which is your country code. If you deal within the UK, you can just dial the number, which is 07740107250. Look at the caller text, you go see them. Imran, it's all yours.
You know, it is so frightening the way I see things they go. Because for me, the most important thing in Sierra Leone, I am a supporter of APC. It's no secrets. I know they hide that. But for me, if you put Sierra Leone, you put APC, I would take Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is superior to how the constitution, a day above everybody and everything in the country. You know, people in the past we start to lies them because now the way when they teach we how we get to education. Because now we be kind of education we agitate, we vomit, we jam, we regurgitate, we just they memorize. We know they ask questions. We're not interested in understanding what we learn. We just they memorize, you know. So because of we not develop critical thinking and critical thoughts. So what thing at the top about Naya is I don't represent people for saying that in the course. And you people in the course. There is one particular guy where I will mention his name called MLK. He make an audio where I get some the archive. He's saying that in the people in the course, now Creole people in the course, Mende they know the course. And he wonder now whose planet he come out. Me na person, I like anthropology. I like for do research. One of the most wicked mamikos na Sierra Leone, where Creole use. It's a borrowed word. From Mende, not any other tribe. I go beg people them because they now una houses them. This na issue of education. Make people left ake for me. Because I go get for use the word. That word there, where Solomon the curse. Now one of the first questions anyway they come out. They say Pima. The word Pima, it's Mende. It is derived from Mende. P means road. Piun. Pima. Pima means in your mama passage. It's a direct borrowed word from Mende. So how come Mende they know the cause? But the word where they use for cause na Creole is borrowed from Mende. How Creole then gets them if not to Mende subscribe unto them? You see the relationship between tribes in Sierra Leone. Everybody they talk. The majority tribe Namende and Timni, Namende Timni, not Namende Timni. The majority tribe is passive, Namadingo. Quite a lot of language them. What's the word they use in Sierra Leone derived from Madingo. So through Timni via Madingo. Like for instance, where Krioma says Sambaleta. I go read you Sambaleta, the word Samba na Madingo, it mean gift. The word Alaki, where Krioma they use. Umpo Alaki na Timni word. Timni, the Creole and borrow from Timni, but Timni then borrow that word from Madingo people. Kasanke na Madingo. So just that same way they now so the word Pima come up from Minde, you can inside Timni. The word Pima na Minde, and there are other Mami calls them where na Minde derived. So how come most of the dangerous Mami calls them?
Okay, Imran, we run out of time, brother. Let me go back to thank you for that. I think we'll therefore take time because we clued on sociologically, anthropologically, philosophically. So maybe we might need a program for this particular thing.
Because language is very, very important for tele. For instance,
absolutely agree.
Opoto.
Absolutely agree.
That's not Portuguese.
But
they might say pumui. Even the word pumui, Portuguese. Pu.
But just a quick one. Going back again to Parliament, Cybercrime, Public Election Act, and all of them, Lord, they are with the non-pass. Very, very anti-democratic, very much violating the people, the people in rule, the people in take. I wonder how you see them in a parliament who say opposition people in sit down. We know fully well say these bills we turn to law, where they vote for, because if they don't vote, if they're not acquiesced to them kind thing in it wouldn't pass. Yet they agree and they are undemocratic. I wonder how you go advise you people and for look at these things from the prism of your lens, and then politician there where we get a parliament. We agree bring for letting kind law they are pass. We get for affect their own people and your constituents, their own party them.
Brother, I feel to say we get for rethink the way we do things with leadership, because the way we leadership structure we society now we culture now one way it's always about forcefulness, because in order like how much power you exact for people now how you able to convince people and how you treat the vulnerable. Like for instance, now every country in the world then get like affirmative action because they want to make the weak get a say, make them get a viewpoint. It's not like when you get good cobra. You know, say now you also if you cook pepper, some man want pepper, some man don't want pepper. So the cobra go decide say, okay, you want pepper, you don't want pepper. All right, I go cook the soup half enough, then I go put small pepper, so everybody go be happy. That is, you the rule by consensus. You the rule by consent. If you bring something at parliament, like when they bring census, people they say, no, we don't want them. People they complain all over the country about them. You go review what you bring at parliament. You say to them, well, what we do, we'll get a conversation. Rather, you hear people them. Now the president will decide. The president is not there to decide. It is there to manage. And how you they manage? You they manage the resources were available to you for make the people uncomfortable. If you want to make law, not for yourself, you they make the law. You they make the law for let the people that use the law. If the people that don't want the law, they don't agree with this law, and the people that want to send for represent them don't resist this law, then get what they call amendment. But America will the copy. They have amended their constitution 27 times. That shows say no constitution, no they with perfect, because now people are right them. And if you're not perfect, from time to time, where I work, every now and again, I get to go through my file and review. review things them. Where I need to do risk assessment, I do risk assessment. You get to do that because you get to think about the safety of the league, the health and safety of the people in the. But look, Sierra Leone, this is not something we want to talk. I feel so we need to do a program about it. Drug abuse also increased in the country. People in the team up, they sleep because they take what's it called? Kush. Now government enroll for legislate and do something about it. But when most of the teachers goes for legislate against the team, they say that they push the drugs in the country. They say that they cartel in the country. Drug is a problem. And any side where drug plenty, the crime rates they go up. Because then people there, they get for fair way for feed and drug habits. Now in Sierra Leone, violent crime, they don't increase. Who's did that? A friend of mine go visit another friend where them go thief na the house, they stab 1 12-year-old pikin when they sleep in a pala. So what do they talk about now? This brutal style of leadership where everything get to be forceful. Because you hear man and we go school. Man and when they say a lawyer. It is within the right of the. If you write is something where people they resent, you got to rethink you right. Sometimes you have to give your rights away. It's not a weakness, not strength. Mandela, not once, not twice, they offer him for make he go to exile. He tell them plain. He said that to defeat the purpose we are fought for. I believe in what I fought for. If I come on here, I go, the people then go still in a prison. Then we go sit down and they eat and they enjoy na Europe. He said, no. If they put me there for what I believe in, if what I believe in still there now South Africa apartheid, I go die inside. That's what you call a convicted politician. Do we have any in Sierra Leone? I doubt it. Because when you go in there, you are there to serve the people. These politicians, they are servants. They are there to serve the people. And when you serve, if I employ you, I expect you for serve me accordingly. I don't go employ you as a cook. You pack salt, I don't like salt. Tomorrow back you pack salt. I will sack you.
All right, Imran.
And now
Imran.
we say now we don't want you for cook again. No, the man say by force, you know they go again.
Imran, can I pause you there just for the benefit of time? We really don't run out of time. And the only people that we go surprise now, people that we don't know you, but you've delivered. I must say. But obviously, it's for the public out there for making judgment. But one final question to you for close this all brilliant program is with all waiting we don't talk, there is an election looming. Obviously, you are a member of the All People's Congress, where happen for be the opposition. We not even talk about many things that we want to talk about, which is the Alfred Peter Conte, as opposed to the 21-man committee and waiting to go on. But in a nutshell, we do understand. So I want you this opportunity for close this program with how you see your party then chances in 2023, owing to the fact of waiting the on go now, if you understand what I mean. In other words, all these kuskas within the house, and a house divided we know say cannot stand. And on that basis, they waiting at your view and how you foresee the 2023 election outcome.
My dear friend, we know very well say this election when it comes, it's not about free and fair. It's out here. The head of state and the electoral commission don't make that clear. It is crystal clear. Even Stevie Wonder can say that's what they want to do. This is the reason we make I would talk to all the opposition, remember them, say this is not time for complacency. This is not time for make them keep an eye on the ball. This is not a time for beginning to talk. Hey, they go postpone. if what you they fight for, postponing go make them a reality, why you they frown against it if you not get any other ulterior motive? If them postpone them, you challenge something at court. Then the courts do the job. We know they use the courts. Then they complain because when you talk, all man they talk and say, oh, the courts there are against we. But have we gone there? Let we go there, let them not do the case. Then we all go come on and say, no, they not do the case. But we always they say thing not a work, well, not even on test them yet. If we have to go to court, let's go. But I will say to the opposition, it is now all about resistance. This passivism, you know, they work. Abobo no want cold water. Abobo no want cold water. Passivism not they work. Like why there is some opposition leader they try for balance the word opposition, the word protest. Protest is legal. Protest is enshrined in our constitution. Protest is one of the things them where they na the democracy menu. Hey, you get the freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of movement, protest. So protest is as legal as eating ice cream. Not to jamba, not to cocaine, not to class A drug. Protest is not drugs. But the one when I push, all man they take push, then they chat in the streets. Government don't make policy for try to deal with that. But the only thing where government want for legislate against now against protest, where they say we constitution. And we get very weak lawyer them. We lawyer them weak. This is the time where all the lawyer them for come out, like what in and do na Malawi. Where they shut down the government. Because you see, the thing is not about APC and SLPP. The thing is about what is right. If we settle for what is wrong over what is right, we set bad precedences then. And then precedences then they're not going to do anything good. Like for instance, where I talk to people and say SLPP from 1954, then they in power. Take 1961. They're not getting no opposition. Even though they're not getting opposition, then try for make the one party. Then vote for them. Now Chief by Bureau. Now him do the private members bill. Now Parliament. Now a man called what's the man in him? Now the Matru John MP. Sam Goba. Now in second motion. That was a bad precedent. You see where APC come? Where outside them tap, they don't vote for a parliament. Then get me now for make the constitution for one party. The one party can cause we problem. Because when it starts, people are wait for say, hey, you know it. Then bring the how they call this lawyer said, people are talk. The libel law. Albert Magai make for punish APC. But it can turn to whip for beat SLPP. That was not good. Right now, the things that when they happen, people look at.
And if you pose a question and express a perspective, we'll get for deal with that, and we clearly don't want
very dangerous.
I'm really sorry.
People say, and the reason this way, everybody
we talk about to organize a program or Blue Mind or something. We are working on it. Okay, bye.
We should resist and resist and resist. If he come follow with him up na place, we no care weapon, we all no agree for move. If we need to do that, we do that. But we get for resist the wrong things there. Yeah. Because I can tell people and say, me, I know they argue and they discuss. Discussion is about what is right. Argument is about winning. It's about ego. But if we get opposition leader there, we're dynamic, we're progressive, and when a good communicator, them, believe you me, we're not for in this position. But look, Madabio, he don't work. He fail. Now be a man, he be president. He fail. He don't work for 22 years. He don't be president again. He don't fail. Then that same man, they want to be on third term. Third term. Not a second term, as people say. Third term. Because this will be the third time he will be president if we allow him to go back. He don't fail where they work. We get a very, 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 very good experiment here. Where we get 2 samples. Sample A, Madam, you don't work before. Sample B, he don't work for 22 years. So the one awake in the talk there, lazy argument say he didn't do well because if he don't work for 22 years. If he don't work before, he fail. He don't work for 22 years. He don't fail back. Then that Monday night come with fail results before we say that we promote him for go sit exams, A-level exam. No. It just stand like one man will go to your uncle for let help him because your uncle is a minister. Your uncle say, where you result? He show your uncle the result. Now your uncle look the result. He say, you get A for agriculture. He say, yes, sir. He say, but you get 9 for all the other subjects there. He say, yes, sir. He say, now what you want to go study? He said, for help me, for let I get scholarship for go study, sir. Now I say, but how I go do it? You only pass agriculture. Now he talk for say, yes, sir. You can help me, sir. For me, I go do medicine. Now I need part and I'm saying me picking, I don't go help you pass if you want to be a balist. Because you get 1 for agriculture. If you let's say you get 5 subjects, 3 peon a plan for go be doctor. No, it could be a balist. So that I could stop. If something wrong, let we try for pick them out and resist for may not happen. I don't feel the same matter if you don't get enough resistance. We get for resistance.
All right, Imran. So much thanks, here for your contribution here tonight. I know say this go a long way. History has been made here. All your pronouncements have been heard. The company that we had tonight wasn't too bad. And now the 2 platforms, they must with the simultaneously broadcast, we had over 120 at some point. Live viewers them, which is good. And we know say thousands more there for view. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, we've come to an end of this brilliant broadcast. And one for thank we guest, where we hope for bring much more again in a proactive sense, leading to 2023 election, because there's so much for catch up with. We do have a heavy program coming on Friday and Saturday. Saturday, obviously, will be Cherno Alpha Mba of the Africanist Press, editor of the Africanist Press. They can continue with his program. And on Friday, I believe I should be coming on the heavy program, which is, does Mada Bio deserve a second term? Part of which we'll talk now. I will expand on that. And I will inject, some clue, some evidence, some references into that. And not just question per se. So anyway, once more, thank you so much, Imran, and thank the audience for watching. This has been a TNN TV Media Empire production.
Thank you, Mr. Koma. Much appreciated. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah. So goodbye until we catch up again, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye for now.